And welcome back. You know, on October the 2nd, GMHC, they're going to be holding their Take Charge of Your Health workshop for people living with HIV. And joining us with all the details, we have Mark Milano and Bo Ramirez. We welcome you guys to the show.
Hi.
Thank you.
So tell us about these workshops.
Well, this actually began, it's been a dream of mine for a long time. I was told I had AIDS 36 years ago. And when the doctor told me, I'd never heard of it, I said, what is it? He goes, it's a life-threatening illness that destroys your immune system.
Yeah.
And so I said, okay, so what's the treatment? And he said, there is none. And I said, what do I do? And he said, we don't know. So that was the first time in my life. I was 26 years old then when the doctor told me I was seriously ill and he had nothing for me. It was pretty scary.
It's frightening, yeah.
It was. And so I said, there are two things I could have done. I could have just shut down and given up, right? Or I could have said, okay, I'll do it on my own. And I said, thank you. And I went out and I learned everything about this new illness called AIDS that I could. I just became an AIDS expert, even though we didn't know much.
What did you do to learn?
I joined
A lot
groups.
of research?
Yeah, I
groups?
joined groups. There was no online back then, so I read the paper, I called people, I did whatever I could to educate myself. That was in Chicago. I moved to New York in '87 and I got involved in ACT UP.
And that was a scare in the 80s, early 80s, right?
People were dropping like flies,
Yeah.
you know, all around you, so it was pretty frightening. So when I came to New York in '87, I joined ACT UP, and ACT UP's mantra was, we, the people, can do this. We don't have to completely rely on and wait for the doctors. So that really taught me that I could learn about this and take care of myself.
Yeah.
So for many years, I wanted to have a workshop where I could tell people with HIV, you can become an HIV expert. You can't become a doctor because doctors have to learn about thousands of illnesses, but you have to learn about only
You can
a
specialize.
single illness.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you learn about only HIV, you can really become expert and you can become a partner with your doctor rather than just sitting there and saying, doctor, please tell me what to do. You can make decisions together.
And that's what turned the pages for you. You said, well, he doesn't know what to give me. He doesn't know anything. I'm frightened. I need to do something. I need to take a stand.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I need to, and I actually went through a number of doctors until I found one who would say, okay, we're a team.
Yeah.
We're making decisions together. You're going to have as much a say as what goes into your body.
And surely that's more comforting than somebody telling you, we have nothing for you. I don't know what to do.
Exactly. And I also knew that beating this was more than just about going to the doctor and taking pills. It was about changing my lifestyle. I stopped drinking. I stopped doing drugs. I went back to the gym. I changed my diet. You know, all those things have an impact. It's not just, doctor, give me a pill and tell me what to do, right? So that was the goal behind this. It took me like over 20 years to finally get this workshop going. But about 3 years ago at ACREA, I finally began these workshops. ACREA has now partnered with GMHC.
ACREA, GMHC.
Yeah, so ACREA is now a part of GMHC, and we're doing these every month. It's every 6 weeks or so. It's a day-long workshop where we go through how do the meds work? What are the new meds? What's in the pipeline?
Yeah.
How do the meds stop working? Because, you know, if you become resistant to the meds, they can stop working. How do you read lab results? How can you improve your nutrition? So teaching you everything you need to know to be an informed person with HIV.
If they stop working, do you have to climb onto a new regimen?
You switch, yeah.
Switch.
So if one stops working, it stopped working for good, and you have to go on to a different set of medicines. And there are ways to prevent that. You know, if you take them correctly, they're going to work for the rest of your life. So I've never become resistant. You know, it's possible, but missing just a few doses here and there can do that.
How did you link up with Bo?
So I actually went to a group that Bo was in, and I pitched the workshop, and he came, and how did it affect you, Bo?
For me, it was I just came out of a hospitalization. I was reassessing in my head after living with the virus for almost 25 years. Was I getting the most out of my doctor's visits? And I was sitting in the GMHC workshop, another workshop. Mark came in and talked about the class. I decided to go, and it completely changed how I interact with my doctors.
Yeah.
So I'm able to go in with specific questions. I'm able to look at my lab results before I get to his office. So I can ask specific questions about what the lab results are saying.
Yeah.
And most importantly, I'm able to look at trending in my lab results. So I'm able to look at, well, you know, this is what's been happening consistently the last few meetings. You know, does that mean anything? So it changed the nature of my interaction with my doctor. Now it's more of a partnership as opposed to me just walking in and getting instructions and walking out the door.
So that's what's important, the partnership and learning about your body, because nobody knows your body better than you do.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And Bo makes a really important point that what we do is we arm people with questions. Neither of us ever tries to play doctor.
Right.
If I self-diagnose myself, I get it wrong all the time. But what I do, and what we both know, is what are the right questions to ask. If a doctor says, I want you to do this, you say, okay, explain to me why you want me to do this so I can understand that, and I can say, I agree, I think we should do this. And I think that really has worked for you, right?
Absolutely. It's you know, dealing with health issues as I'm getting older now, multiple health issues at the same time. I know when if I walk in, I'm able to go straight to what the symptoms are, ask them for what their feedback is on it, and then be part of planning on how we're going to address, you know, whatever the ailment may be together.
Well, you guys look great. Thank you for sharing this great information.
Thank you.
Where can we go for more?
So
On
the
the
next
workshop and
workshop,
what you guys
the
are
next
doing.
workshop is going to be on October 2nd. They're from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. We have a great lunch and Metro cards and everything. The easiest way to do it, I think, is just to email me. It's markm, M-A-R-K-M, at gmhc.org. Or you could call me at 212-367-1077. So we can take them either by phone or by email. There is a way to register online. I don't know if you can put up the address or not, but call me or email me. And I think it's really anybody who comes, it's going to have a profound effect, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Everyone walks away changed.
Mark Milano and Bo Ramirez.
Great.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much.
Akria
Akria at GMHC.
at GMHC. Thank you guys so much. We'll take a break. We'll be back.